We're going to a specific house today. And not inside, not at first. We're looking beneath it. So picture this. A squat little box of a house, paint peeling, a porch that sags just a bit.
Yeah.
And under that porch, a hollow, black cavity, barely 2 feet high, covered with these haphazard wooden slats, the family crawl space. And it came with one very simple rule for the kids. Stay away.
It's such a classic image, isn't it? The hidden space right under the normal, everyday family home.
Exactly.
And the narrator of this account, they were, what, 7 or 8 at the time? They remember the warnings, but they were almost, contradictory. Dad's warning was all about spiders, mold, rusted metal, physical things.
Tangible threats.
Exactly. But the mother's warning was just exasperation. Stay out of there. It wasn't about fear. It was about not causing trouble.
Which really is the perfect setup for a secret, isn't it?
Yeah.
When the danger doesn't feel real, curiosity it takes over.
It always wins.
And that's what we're doing in this deep dive. We're looking at a single, deeply chilling personal account. We're going to track the precise escalation here, how that simple curiosity got twisted, how a secret friendship became surveillance.
And how one tiny misplaced act of trust led to something just irreversible. This account is a masterclass in manipulation, really. It shows you how caution can be defeated, not with force, but by just pulling the right psychological strings in a child.
So let's go to that first moment, first contact. The narrator's playing alone in the yard one summer afternoon, close to the porch, and then they hear it.
Yeah.
This faint, dry whisper from beneath the house. All it says is, "Come here for a second."
And that tone is everything. It's not a command, it's an invitation. So the child gets on their knees, they peer through the slats, and what they see should have sent them screaming.
Absolutely. The man's face is just horrifying. Sunken eyes, pale skin streaked with dirt, bony shoulders. He's got wounds on him. He looks like danger personified.
But the child doesn't run.
They don't run.
Because of the immediate conflict he creates. He looks like a monster, but his voice is, and this is the direct quote, almost kind. It's calm. It's friendly. And maybe the most important part, he doesn't move.
He stays back in the shadows.
Right. He never reaches out. That physical barrier of the slats, that distance, it makes the whole encounter feel contained. It feels strangely safe. He's overriding what the child is seeing with what they're hearing.
And then he seals the deal with the perfect lie for a 7-year-old. He says he's an old friend of their dad's, just hasn't been in touch for a while.
I mean, that's just a brilliant move. It's not a stranger anymore. It's a friend of the family. He's immediately bypassed all those parental defense mechanisms a child might have. But then, right away, he weaponizes that new trust.
With the first secret, "Don't tell your dad I'm here yet. Let's keep it between us."
And that is step 1. The absolute textbook first step in grooming. He's creating this exclusive club of 2. And for a kid that age, a secret with an adult, that's like currency. It makes you feel powerful, special. So important. He's turned the child into his protector, his ally. The family unit is already compromised right there in that first conversation.
So this routine starts. The child kneels by the slats, whispers into the dark, and the man, he just lies back in the shadows and listens intently.
And for a while, it's just, normal kid stuff. What's your favorite animal? What do you want to be when you grow up?
Right, small talk.
But it's more than that. It's an investment. He's making the narrator feel like every single thing they say is the most important thing he's ever heard. He's giving them this unconditional audience, and that's powerfully reinforcing. It makes them want to come back.
But then the questions start to change.
They shift, subtly at first.
Yeah, they're not about the child anymore. They're about the house. Your dad still works late, huh? Where do you sleep in the house?
And that's the pivot. The conversation is no longer about rapport, it's about reconnaissance. He's collecting intelligence. And the child, who is so invested in this special secret, just answers. They don't sound like security questions. They sound like...
just catching up, like an old friend would.
Exactly.
Until he gets to the big one, the key vulnerability. He asks, "Your mom locked the doors at night?" And the narrator says, "Well, sometimes she forgets."
And the man's reaction to that is just, it's masterful. He doesn't get excited. He doesn't react at all. There's just silence. He lets that information hang in the air, and then he just confirms it so casually. Really, she sometimes forgets.
Just files it away.
Just files it away. But then there's a moment that, for me, is maybe the most chilling part of this whole buildup.
Yeah.
It confirms this is way more than just conversations.
The little brother.
It's the little brother. The narrator mentions they were at their grandma's, and the man just casually asks, "Your little brother go too?"
And the narrator's blood runs cold because they realize They had never, ever mentioned a little brother. Not once.
Which can only mean one thing.
He's been watching the house.
He's been watching. He's not just passively listening to whispers through a crawl space. He's conducting active, full-scale surveillance. He knows who comes and goes. The threat level just exploded.
Yeah. And you see that panic in the narrator. At one point, the little brother actually comes near the porch while they're talking, and the narrator has to quickly make up a lie. Oh, I'm just looking for my ball.
And the brother buys it.
He buys it. And the narrator's regret later is just this one heartbreaking line. I wish he never believed me.
Because now the child isn't just keeping a secret. They are actively lying to their family to protect the man. The moral compass has been compromised, and that's the bridge he needed to cross before asking for more than just words.
Which brings us to the next phase. He's done gathering information. Now it's time to test obedience.
Action. The first request is so small. Give me the spare shed key.
Classic foot in the door. And what's so unnerving is that the man knows things he shouldn't. The child knows exactly where that key is, under the porch, behind some old cinder blocks, a spot only their dad used.
He knows the house's secrets better than the family does.
And the child hesitates. They feel this flicker of something wrong. But the man is ready for that. He has the perfect excuse.
A neutral justification. Oh, I just left a little keepsake in there a long time ago. Nothing threatening.
And then, the masterstroke. He senses the hesitation, so he gives the child an out. He says, "It's all right, buddy. You don't have to do it."
And that is just devastatingly effective. By giving them permission to say no, he makes them feel like they're in control. So when they choose to do it anyway, it feels like an act of friendship, not coercion.
So he's got the key. He's proven the child will act. Now he escalates to the final request, the big one. His voice gets quieter, like he's sharing the biggest secret of all. "What could you leave the back door unlocked for me tonight?"
And then the bribe. So simple. So powerful for a kid in that position. I want to leave you a little present. It's the payoff. The reward for being such a good friend, such a good secret keeper.
And the actual betrayal, the act itself, is described as almost an afterthought. The mom calls for dinner, snapping the narrator out of this trance, and they just walk to the back door, unlock it, and go to the kitchen.
The thought just slips away.
Slips right from their mind. The return to the normal family routine, the call for dinner, it just erases the weight of what they've just done.
That's why the escalation works. It's been so gradual that this final catastrophic act feels like just one more small favor between friends. It's normalized.
And that mental fog is what allows for the slip-up at the dinner table. They're just sitting there eating, feeling safe.
Yeah.
And they say it so casually. "I talked to your friend today."
And the entire world just stops. The parent's reaction is visceral. The mom drops a pan. The dad's hand just freezes, knuckles white. His face drains of all color.
His question, "What friend?" is the last moment of calm before everything just shatters.
The dad's reaction is pure, violent panic. He doesn't walk, he runs. He tears the wooden slats off the crawl space with a strength the narrator has never seen.
The flashlight beam cuts into the darkness and finds nothing. Just dirt. Cobwebs, the smell of damp rot. For a second, you can feel the child hoping they imagined it all.
Hoping it wasn't real, a bad dream.
But then the beam of light finds it. One small, terribly out-of-place object, a single, tiny red shoe, half buried in the dirt.
And it belongs to the little brother.
That's the confirmation. The dad, just white as a sheet, asks, "Where's your brother?" And right at that moment, the mom comes into the room, confused, asking what's happening. And then they all hear it.
The sound.
A scream. Described as raw and high and jagged. Something too broken to come from a person. Coming from the little brother's room.
What they find in there is the direct result of every single piece of information the man collected. The dad forces the door open, and it's just blood everywhere, splattered on the floor, still spreading.
And in the middle of it all, what was left of him?
That's the horrific payoff, the location of the bedroom, the parents working late, the unlocked door. The child had given him, detail by detail, the key to the entire house.
The aftermath for the narrator is just a blank. They don't remember the police. They don't remember the funeral. They just remember the silence. The parents stopped talking. The mother wouldn't even look at them anymore.
The family unit completely destroyed. That's the second tragedy.
And the only thing that breaks through that fog of memory, the one feeling that remains, is the guilt. This slow, suffocating thought, "I did this.
It's just a terrifying study in exploitation. The man didn't need to break in, he was invited. He just turned a child's natural desire for a secret, for importance, into the very mechanism of their family's destruction.
He didn't need force because he had the child's trust. The psychological barrier was down, so the physical one didn't matter.
Exactly. The horror isn't just the final act of violence. It's the cold, patient, meticulous process that got him there.
And that leads us to our final provocative thought for you to think about after this is over. If you look back at that slow, careful escalation, from the first whisper to the lie to the request for the key, was there any single moment where an intervention could have worked? If a parent had known, could they have stopped it? Or was the tragedy sealed the moment that first secret, the promise to hide the man, was made?